Hello, everyone. I am Gander of the gaming clan, Vatso Clan, and this is Dominion Breakdown number. Well, I actually don't know what this is. Hey, it's the Pie Patch. It's 3.14. That joke. Why did I explain the joke? Now it's worthless. Anyway, this is sort of going to be a Dominion Breakdown, sort of like diet caffeine-free edition because it's always hard to get guests on for this. So I'm just kind of grabbing whoever I can get. I'm just going to give this a read through of some of my friends from the Dominion community. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Who should go first?
The person talking.
Okay, I'm Rachel Passive. I'm the captain of DD. It's just Summoner's Rift.
This is your audience.
Hi, I'm William Swiftfoot, or as people know me on Twitch, Kenku. I'm the captain of DD Mercenaries.
Hi, I'm Elia, and I am a solo queue player who plays support in high elo. Not playing in DD due to my work schedule, but I'm here today.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks guys for showing up. Out of 200 people, you guys are cooler than the rest of them right now.
Woo!
Let's just start down. The way this works is we just go down the list. So this is an update that I think is going to be better for me than for you guys. General PvP Net updates. You can now mass dismiss notifications. Hell yeah! You guys remember those times you see me on stream clicking all of the boxes from all the PMs? Friends lists and notifications. There's some changes that don't even explain here. Group chat, more rapid performance there is nice.
From what I've seen from what people put up, it looks nice. They've done a nice facelift to the notifications.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
like, are we talking like pictures?
It's very similar to IC.
If someone can dig up a picture and post it in the raid call, I'll show it on the screen.
Take me a while, but
yeah, you can just do that in the background. Skin locks a little bit before the thing. That's just kind of neat. It's the in-game UI. Health bar updates, good. Hey, you can see who you targeted now. Do we like that?
Yes.
yes,
Really
although the health bars look a little strange to me, because I've seen what they look like, but
And we don't have to worry about Smite because, well, Smite. Does anybody here play Corki?
My
I
only
don't play
comment on that
Corki.
is this will probably get bring AP Corki that always plays a little better since they've put a nice boost to its attack damage. Never mind.
it does buff AD Corki, however,
Yeah.
because of the scaling total damage, which goes up as you level it.
Mm-hmm. No, there's one thing about Phosphorus Bomb that makes me wonder. I think it's... I mean, a lot of this is just range changes and stuff like that, but it gives vision while the missile is traveling. So, does this mean it's going to be like a trail of stealth reveal, or are they referring to the normal vision for when projectiles move? Like the big
It'd be a
projectiles?
trail since it's basically now a grenade lob, so it would be a trail.
Oh, neat.
So it kind of works how like Ash's like vision thing works. I'm guessing because like doesn't it
Yes.
reveal as it travels?
Oh, okay.
Alright, and here's a not so great screenshot, but I don't have any chat notifications right now, but this is what it looked like. It's similar to the one in Infinite Crisis. It's
Oh,
that
so it's
long
bigger.
now.
It's like it looks like your friends list pretty much.
Oh.
Yes, it'll stack up
It
like your
scrolls,
friends
too.
list. Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. I like it. That's freaking cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
I really hope that Riot and Turbine get into an escalation war with client changes, because that would make me so happy to see both my favorite games constantly trying to outdo each other.
Well, like, League of Legends client isn't that good to begin with.
No, it's not. But if this gets them off their butt, if they decide to run with some changes like another game has, oh man, I'd be really hyped for that.
Be some percent hype.
There we go.
Friends list has also changed a bit to the UI. It's more smooth looking.
Cool. Okay, so anybody here play Gragas?
Not enough to really have an opinion.
No.
Okay. Well, okay, so Body Slam, full damage to all targets, slightly higher cooldown. It has some CDR, though, if he does hit something. I think that's kind of neat. Do you think this is going to make him any harder to kill, or is this just might make him a little bit more dangerous?
I've heard from some people that I've been talking about it with. They seem like it's a buff to some things, but then it's a huge nerf to other things. So I think in general it's a nerf, but like they kind of made up for it a little bit, so it's not as bad.
I think they did that is so that he does not get a free escape every like 4 seconds.
And if he's
Because
landing him, it looks like he gets him out slightly faster than before.
He has to land them with a unit though. Currently, most Gragases use them to escape.
But yeah, but I mean, like if he's fighting, then he should have it up to bail out with if he needs to. But he wouldn't be able to. No, he can still use it preemptively to escape. He just can't get spammy with it. It looks like. That's the impression that I get. Is he won't be like dodge time Gragas anymore. But his damage goes up, which I think is okay.
The conversation I had earlier was like that it's going to be harder to harass with Gragas because like his cooldowns are going to be longer and things like that. Like I think yeah, the cooldown's 12 seconds on Body Slam now. So you have to actually use it intelligently.
Okay, I see what you mean. Anybody else have any thoughts on Gragas before I move down to Morg?
Nope.
Cool.
No.
Man, look. Swiftfoot, I think you're the one here qualified to comment on Morg. Does this even really matter? Did he disappear?
I play a little bit of Morgana. It's not really worth mentioning other than the fact that it's easier for you to see the radius, but it also allows the opponents to know if they're in range to escape or not.
Ooh.
It's really more like a quality of life change, I should say. It's similar to Cho'Gath's ultimate.
Oh yeah, I just got to the most depressing change. The Nasus change.
Oh, he's get the visual update.
Yeah. Did those voice changes actually go through? That makes me unhappy.
Yes.
Oh.
The visual update, they had to do that because they're going to release his legendary skin.
Oh.
Well, and they said that he has like more than twice as many lines as he did before.
Ooh, you know what I can do? My League of Legends in the other room hasn't patched yet. I can extract the voice files before I patch it. I'm gonna do that. the old voice actor. What?
You can extract the voices right now before they change it later tonight.
Oh, it hasn't actually gone through
live.
Yeah, the patch is tonight.
Oh, so the one that we had was just when I logged in was like a little prep thing then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
the actual patch is tonight.
If I ever find someone who knows how to do some really complicated stuff, I have all of Cat's old sound and image and animation files. Because when I moved out of my... Well, I got a new computer from my friend at one point, and I'd installed League on the one before it, which was an old, like, Windows XP 1.3 gigahertz single-core processor, right? But it could it could play League on low. My loading times to get into the game were insane, but once I was in-game, it was fine. Didn't have any problems, really. And that was on a really, really old patch, like, before Leona was a champion. Hell, it might be before Wukong, even. And when I went to load it up, I went, wait a minute, I wonder. And I went in there and I found all the old sound files, so I just copied the entire install to another drive. I just have everything chilling. It's kind of cool. Lifesteal.
There's an old client somewhere.
Yeah, if anyone has like an old client, I highly suggest you copy all that stuff, because you never know when that stuff's gonna be needed by someone somewhere on the internet. I don't necessarily like the rescaling on Soul Eater. I mean, they futzed with it. I don't like that.
It's really just to give a nerf to Summoner's Rift, because he's pretty strong in solo queue if you just let him do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah,
but
he's
that's
a
Summoner's
monster
Rift,
over
though.
there. I play a lot of him, but I mean, I guess in Dominion it's not going to impact it too much.
I don't think this is going to change him at all in Dominion, personally. He's still going to be the same, but even weaker at early levels.
Okay, so Nautilus, root duration was messed with. Not that big change.
Yeah, not a big change.
That's actually a bit of a huge change, because now it's 1.5 seconds at level 18, whereas the current one is only 1 second at level 13, and it does not go any higher than that.
Oh, so he gains a half a second.
Yes.
Oh, well. Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty big, actually.
I didn't notice that. I don't play
And
a lot of
also
Nautilus.
his 1 second, currently it's at level 13. When the patch goes through, it's going to be at level 11. He gets it, so he'll get it a lot faster, and as well as it goes into late game,
Oh, neat.
so it scales better.
Does anyone play Nautilus in Dominion, now that I think about it?
No, I know how to play Nautilus, but like, I don't play him in Dominion.
should
I
become
heard he's
the
not that
Nautilus
great
player.
in Dominion. That would be fun.
Tyboy Incoming, they're the Payzevelin child support of Europe West server. They ran Nautilus all the damn time. They used, like, I forget who it was specifically that played Naut, but if you know how to use him, like, I've been wanting to pick him up just so I can play weird tanks. I'm going down to Nidalee now. Nidalee, so Bushwhack has a general change now. I mean, it was changed for Dominion
Still
specifically.
less.
So yeah,
greater than
it's again with like when I first joined Dominion and I was like, Dominion tells the future. I still stand by this.
Yep.
I'm looking at his javelin toss. If you're looking at that,
Yeah.
at least with me, something like, I mean, something I've done with Alistar at times is run towards a Nidalee, and yeah, that kind of buffs against that now.
Well, and
not only
also
that,
when you play Nidalee, the trick is that you throw the spear and then start running backwards,
Mhm.
and so then you get more damage. But now that won't work.
Yeah, have you seen the people that flash backwards?
No, I haven't seen that.
I've seen that a couple times where they'd throw the spear at like definitely middle range and then flash back and the person would just explode.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you have to have
Yes.
godlike timing, but with practice you can get really consistent with that. And a friend of mine did it, and I'm like, dude, what? And he's like, Flash, man, it's so good. That was Fred Jackson.
Yes, that requires some skill. Bushwhack, I mean, 8 seconds for Summoner's Rift is great. It's not going to change for us because in Dominion it's still 6 seconds.
Yeah. I think though, I'm reading into this just a little bit, and it distantly reminds me of a different video game. I feel like there might be a dead zone for Nidalee now, where you can stand just outside of her paw swipe range, and not be taking full damage from spears, so it's going to force her to burn her hop if you stand in that, whatever that magic range happens to be. And it's going to force her to use her hop to get in on you, which temporarily eats her escape and makes her a little bit easier to fight. But I think the good Nidalees will just use that hop to jump back and then set up for another spear rather than engaging.
Right.
Because usually they will go into cat form and then they'll do their like maul paw swipe. I don't know what it's called because I don't play Nidalee, I'm sorry. and then they'd like jump away if things go bad, and then you can't catch them because Nidalee hop 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 hop. Just want to hit her with a frying pan really hard.
Like, I think it'll make Nidalee play a little bit deeper, but I mean, Nidalee play isn't deep
Chuck Spears
at all. Yeah.
There's some
So I mean, like,
nuances
it's
to
making it makes it a little bit deeper, but it's still not a very deep experience playing Nidalee.
Nunu has a change, but we haven't really seen a lot of him in Dominion recently. Have you guys
Yeah,
like,
now
seen
that you
any
can't-
news?
I've seen
I've
him
seen some.
once or twice, but this really doesn't affect it that much. This is like Atros healing off minions just by slapping a minion and then going back to the fight. It's not really something that affects Dominion that much.
Alright.
They changed it for as early, but it does not change as late at all, so it does not matter too much.
So what's up with... Does anyone here play Sivir?
I do. This to me. I mean, I don't know if it's going to change me much because I've seen a lot of people still pushing an ADC, a standard ADC build, Phantoms and so forth, with a movement on top of it, and that'll affect them because you're going to probably have less early damage on the boomerang, but I don't really see it as a big difference. It's sort of a play outside of some of the early game, which Severe even on Dom has a fairly good early game because I've done triple kills at the windmill before.
Anybody else have any comments? If you don't play Sivir, do you think it's going to make her more or less difficult to deal with?
Play against her in Summoner's Rift because I play support bot lane. I don't think it's going to change her that much. Early and late.
I like the... I play a little bit of Sivir. I don't really play her in Dominion much, but... Because me and ADCs don't get along, but I really like Sivir and Vayne. And the damage reduction per hit going down to only 10% is really nice. I really like that. It's going to make her AoE.
Yeah.
better, which will be good. So I think that, like, in a team fight, she's going to be... you want to scatter a little bit more, I think. That's my thoughts on it. I'm going to scroll down to Vayne now. Vayne can't queue up a basic attack after hitting them with Condemn. And then this bug fix where the target would briefly be unable to act after the end of the effect, even if they did not hit a wall. That's been driving me insane for, like... has everyone else had this where you get condemned and then, like, you go alongside a wall but don't actually go perpendicular into it? Or you're on a corner and you go past the corner and then you're, like, in the middle of the lane and you're like, there's nothing next to me?
Yeah,
It has prevented me from making plays bot lane and Summoner's Rift. I'm sorry if I'm talking about this, but it just makes it so annoying.
I think that these are just... I think Vayne will still be okay. We'll just have to get used to some of these adjustments.
They change it so that you don't get damage if you just condemn them, but it does not hit them to the wall.
Yeah.
After knocking the target back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it harder for her to CS with it because sometimes they use it to CS if they're gonna miss it.
Yeah, it's just a spare
That's
shot
all it does.
that you can use. Which is
Well,
been neat.
like, it still does damage, even if it doesn't hit a wall. It says it deals the damage after it's knocked back.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you don't get
alright.
the damage immediately.
It's slightly delayed now, just based off their travel distance.
That would be a good mechanic if it only dealt damage if you got stunned, but no.
That would
Oh,
suck.
then that would make her too weak.
Yeah, they have to do something. We're scrolling down now. There's this giant section that says support champion changes, and that's why I'm really happy to have Alia here commentating, because he's one of the really good support players that we've got in Dominion Land, rather. Call me out any time I say we've got. I'm trying to say we have, because that's more correct.
I play supports too.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm still used to you playing a lot of mages like Annie.
Yeah,
And-
but I used to be a support main on Summoner's Rift, where I played like 90% supports, and I also play supports in Dominion now too.
All right. Alia, you want to talk about this Janna stuff for me?
Yes. Okay, so the passive is now local instead of global. We already heard about this from Morello as he talked about it so many times where he doesn't believe that global, because it's a hidden power thing, it doesn't really have active gameplay. It's more passive gameplay. However, they did buff it to 5% instead of 3%, but it's an aura. However, it does make Janna harder to catch than what she is before.
I think it'll help initiation too, right? I mean, if you're rolling around with
Yes.
the Janna. Now, what's
It'll
up
also
with
help
this?
your AD carries dodge.
There is this Howling Gale change. Like, what are we in particularly the AP ratios adjustment? Like, how is that gonna affect things? Do you think?
Janna never did much damage to begin with, although it did a lot even if you haven't fully charged it. Now, in order for her to do more damage, she has to fully charge it. But this is a nerf to Janna bot lane in Dominion. She won't be able to push as well anymore.
And I didn't notice the charge reduction on that. And that's pretty much a nerf bat to get all the way around.
It's not meant for damage anymore unless you're trying to let it fully charge. But
Yeah,
people
pretty
will
much.
dodge it so easily to the point where you're not going to hit anyone with it.
And when I've played, largely, it's, the only time I've really used it is for bot or for side lane, for a drop and run it on the side lane at full charge.
Yeah, see, and with me, I mostly use it for disengage, and I usually never fully charge it if I'm intending to hit someone with it.
Either way, it's a nerf to her damage. Not like she had any damage to
So it
begin
really
with
only
in
affect
Dominion.
the big AP build Jannas that we sometimes see in Dominion.
Yes, but that's where her other ratios come in. As you can see, they nerfed the Zephyr
These
base.
Zephyr changes, what is going on here? My brain can't handle all these like weird decimal points that go into the hundredths
Basically,
place.
Well,
they
the
nerf-
first, the self with the speed buff, actually looking at it, unless you're, until you hit a Wooglitz, it's basically a Wooglitz or that level AP, it's basically a nerf, but at the same time, you're assigned the passive, well, it's a nerf at very low AP ratios, but the passive buff kind of counteracts part of the nerf as is.
It's 1% per AP. And basically, most Jannas, if you don't go Wooglitz, will usually have around 150 to 200 AP. With some tankiness. It's a slight nerf overall, unless you have, like, Wooglitz, as William said. Then it's a buff.
Does this make BFT more attractive on this champion?
Yes, it very much does. And also Twin Shadows, but that changes all the way at the bottom.
Okay, we'll get to that later then.
Yes. The slow debuff, they're just gonna get slowed a lot sooner if you build enough AP. Now the slow bases have been reduced to 40% at max from 48. So in order to get that much of a same, you pretty much have to have 150 AP or greater, which most Jannas usually reach around 200 AP, so it's a buff. The damage, however, has been nerfed, although it's not as much anymore. And Janna's DPS is pretty much overall lower.
Okay. And Eye of the Storm has that same kind of thing going on, the AP ratio now.
The AP
It
ratio
seems like a
is-
shift.
It is a shift. And honestly, I did expect them to nerf the AP ratio on how much it's shielded because 90% AP is really too strong.
I think
For
it
a
was-
shield.
What's How much attack damage does it usually give? Like now, like on live right now.
50, and they were going to change that on the test server, but they decided not to. So
Yeah.
now it's 50 plus 1 AD per 10 AP. So
Yeah,
On
so
top of the 50?
on top
on
of the,
top of the
at,
50.
at the highest level, yeah. Basically, at the minimum, if you have 200, if you haven't put anything into it, it's going to be 30. At the highest, if you've done with 200, it's going to be 70.
Yes, it's going to be at least 70. That's pretty much a BF sword plus a pickaxe plus a longsword.
That's ridiculous. Because I thought like when it said it was +1 attack damage per 10 ability power, and then that's it. Like it didn't give any attack damage, or it gave a very low number.
Overall,
But-
AP Janna, this is probably going to push her to maybe almost tier 0 with an AD carry. Actually, no, I'm going to say it's going to push her to tier number 0 with AD carry, as well as making her a lot harder to catch if she gets her Wooglets by that point, along with CDR and other AP items.
Anybody else have any thoughts on Janna? I think this. So the vibe I'm getting is AP, like the full-on AP caster Janna, we're not really going to see anymore, but it's going to make whoever she's partnered up with more aggressive because of the Eye of the Storm change.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
She's kind of like she doesn't really do any damage, but she's like this hidden threat where like stop her from buffing everything.
Guys, look what she's doing to Ezreal! Oh no!
I'm quite surprised they did not touch her heal. There are a few writers that said that it is probably on the stronger side, but they want to see who can fully use her heal, her ult to the fullest before they'll call a nerf.
Yeah,
we
that'll be
rarely
interesting.
see a full charge on that.
Well, I've seen it once or twice. It's just the thing is with AP up, it doesn't matter even with a full charge. It's 130. It can be between 100 and 135 health per dot.
Yes, you probably don't need a full charge.
And we're gonna go down to Leona, and this. I've been playing a lot of Leona in Dominion just because the pool party skin's cute, and she has that little transparent cape thing on her butt. I don't know what that's actually called, but
It's
basically,
just a cover up.
I really liked the art for it because I don't see a lot of translucent textures and stuff in games, so I thought that was really cool. So I played Leona anyway, and I got that, so now I play her a lot more just because look at her little butt cape. I don't know what it's called.
That's what it's called. It's called a sarong.
A sarong? What
Yeah.
What is that?
That's what it is. That translucent, like, cape thing around her waist.
It just, like, covers... So it's like a towel belt?
Yeah. But that's what it's called.
It's called a sarong.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before, but I'm a guy and I don't know a lot of, like, beach fashion.
Usually they're, like, long... It's like a... yeah, I was right. Okay. I googled it to make sure I wasn't being stupid, but that's what it is. It's sarong.
You're supposed to Google it first. You could have dug yourself into the biggest hole just now.
I could have, but I didn't.
Your sandcastle would have fallen on you and buried you under it. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Leona because the translucent sarong is really... I really like... Whoever is responsible for doing that, I want to know who they are because they're awesome and they're part of the art team that makes this game look cool. And Eclipse is my favorite thing about Leona. And this change is... I enjoy it for the following reason. If you look at the base amount, okay, the base amount goes down by 5. That's whatever. It goes down by 5 at each rank. That is absolutely nothing considering how much she's going to gain off of gaining 20% bonus armor, 20% bonus MR in addition to that.
Oh wow, she's
That
gonna be
is
so tanky.
monstrous. I already outlive my
If you looked
entire
at
team in a team
Masteries,
fight.
There's also Masteries where you get 5% for Season 4 Masteries. There's 5% armor and MR, and it's the very top of the tree. Bonus.
Oh, they put the legendary armor down further?
Yeah, they put legendary armor. Well,
Whatever it's called.
No, it's tier 1.
We'll get to
Tier 1, they
Masteries.
put it all the way at the top.
Oh
So
wait,
this
you
will
mean
make her
top
even
in
more
that sense?
tankier.
Okay, I see what you mean.
This will make her even more tankier, and yeah,
I was
she's.
already outliving my entire team. I
I
am
do
going
not
to be
understand
eternal.
why Riot did this change, to be honest.
Dude, I'm gonna play so much Leona, man. Like, somebody wanna go like Janna Ezreal with me? Like, we will ruin some people's day.
In my opinion, the change is more of looking in the support sense with SR, and that items it takes longer to get items
We
versus
get so
Dominion.
many items here. This is an amazing change for Dominion. She's gonna be unfair.
Well, like, I mean, the thing is like, supports are gonna be getting items now in SR too. So that's why they're doing all this.
The
So
only problem with supports and SR is that one of their items still has to be a Ruby Sightstone, which gives 360 health and 3 wards.
That's actually a really good item on Leona. Pure health items work fine on her because you get so much armor and MR from Eclipse that you still get all that extra effective health. So having an SR,
But now
I
you
think
can
having
get,
a
like-
pure hit point item like that isn't that bad, but
Yeah,
But now you can get
I can just
like
stack more defensive
Vegas
stats
stuff.
on Dom.
I mean, I expect on SR with Leona that the first 2 items are going to be Sightstone and Face of the Mountain.
Does anybody else have any thoughts on Leona?
nope.
Other than she's gonna be a tanky monster, as if she's not already.
I'm just so happy. It's gonna be great. I really like it. I really wish people would stop joining raid calls so I didn't have to keep moving my little menu on the side. I have an XSplit region that just shows, if you look at raid call, guys, it just shows Vato Clan and then our 4 names, so the viewers can see who's talking, right? But whenever someone joins the channel above us, because this channel is so far down, it moves it, and I keep having to scroll it. There's your behind the scenes
Oh.
for the day. Alright, let's go down to Lulu. I don't really play a lot of Lulu.
Have you seen the video that Blind Lulu made about the Lulu change?
No, but he's qualified.
Like, they made it, and, like, it's ridiculous.
It is centered around Whimsy. The W?
Like, Lulu looks to seem uncatchable, and, like, does a bunch of damage on top of it.
So Lulu actually ban-worthy outside the mic now?
It seems like it.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it might just be Blind Lulu doing really well, but, like, it just looks crazy.
For anyone who doesn't know who we're referring to, Blind Lulu is he's a really good Dominion Lulu player. That's pretty much all he plays, though, and he doesn't play competitive.
He used to play other supports like Soraka and Sona and Zillion, from what I remember,
Yeah.
before he changed his name a few times. Or is it she? I could not quite remember the gender.
I don't know. All I know is Blind Lulu is a really good Lulu. There's a few people in Dominion queue that they basically just play one champion. We don't know if that's the one champion that they play, because there's some people that play this game and only play one champion, only play blind. I mean, in the extended League of Legends community, I mean, that exists. Or if it's just, well, that's who they play in Dominion, and then in Summoner's Rift they play other stuff. Who knows?
I will say
Lulu's
this
really good.
though, her passive change, this encourages her to go of a more AP AS on-hit effect build. With CDR, of course.
I've been convinced, like, which I'm kind of excited about, because, like, I wonder if Nasher's Tooth would be more viable on her.
I talked to Zamike about it. He says Nasher's Tooth could be viable, but you're still better off getting Wit's End.
That's fair.
Because I've been trying to play Lulu recently, because I wanted to try, because she's really fun, and I used to play her on SR, but I just haven't played her on here yet. But I like going a more AP-centric build instead of the tanky Zamike build. And I was like trying to figure out how to build, so that's why I was saying that.
Now her Q has a slow that does not decay to 0%. Instead, this is dependent on 1% per 7.5 AP. So basically, slow will never go down to the 0% even when it wears off. It just goes down to how much percent, and then it just vanishes after that.
You know what will be a great day one bug is if the slow stays persistent for some reason.
I linked you the video, the Blind Lulu video, so you can watch it later or something.
Yeah, I can't really. I don't want to play videos on the stream unless they're ones I've made.
Yeah, that's fine. Like because I remembered it. I'm linking it now so I don't forget.
Well, actually, I will click it so people can see the title. That way, if they want to watch it themselves, they can. It's called "Don't Chase Lulu." It's by Blind Lulu. You can find it on YouTube. You can see it on the screen right here. I'm not gonna play it for you because I don't know if he wants it played, or I'm pretty sure he'd rather have those video hits himself than have me take any away. So if you guys want to see what Rachel Passive was talking about, you can go check that out there.
This was recorded in Summoner's Rift, so there are no speed shrines. However,
Lulu doesn't need speed shrines.
Lulu is a speed shrine. She has one in her Magic Fairy pocket.
They removed the AP boost on her Whimsy, which I never really used, other than maybe on like mages once in a while.
Yeah, usually, if I was playing Annie and my teammate Raptor Bandito was playing Lulu, if I had my full combo up, he would throw it at me, but otherwise he'd use offensive Whimsy instead.
But now Whimsy can be used offensively or even defensively with the whole... Sure, they nerfed the base movement speed by 5%. However, 1% per 10 AP is... It's a little ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous.
I feel like we're going to see AP Lulu spammed a bunch and people are going to complain when she gets blown up.
I'm going to be one of those people.
Hey man,
I'm not even...
Use it until they nerf it, right? Get that free.
Like
this makes
I love
Torch really good on her and Lich Bane.
Oh, you're right.
Do you want those two items?
And I seriously think like now Nashor's Tooth will probably be pretty good with her.
Why do you have such a My usual line is a lot more offensive than what I'm trying to say instead. Why do you have such a fixation on Nashor's Tooth? Are you a Nashor's Tooth friend?
Okay, no, I just wish it worked with more champions. Like, Nashor's Tooth is a good item, but like, I was like, it's such a good item, but I'm like, who does it go with? No, like, I can't, like, maybe Kale, Teemo, and that's it.
Diana sometimes.
Yeah.
Oriana sometimes, but she's a little weird case.
But rarely. It's only if like you really are getting like that close to auto attack people that much.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else have any thoughts on Lulu before I scroll down some more?
They nerfed her damage on her E, but that was going to be a given anyways.
Yeah, and that's just
my only thing was why did they decide against making it a trade? But that's PBE for you, I guess.
It used to be that the trade-off was whenever they made it lower for her E, they buffed her shield ratio to 0.8, which is way too much.
Alright.
A 0.8 AP shield is a lot.
I'm going to scroll down to Nami. Does anybody here play Nami?
I do. To my strategy, which is largely ebb and flow, this is pretty much a buff because because you're basically taking the penalty off of the bounces. Oops, sorry. Because you're basically taking the penalty off the bounces, so it just makes her stronger as AOE. I'm not heavy use of Aqua Prism outside of as a trap. The speed's a buff in the end, and Tidal Wave was more used to push than anything. So to me, it's a buff to her.
I would say it's a buff to her as well, but I play her more like an AP caster, where I max Aqua Prism first, although that will change after this patch. However, I do like her E slow is a lot stronger now, considering you can just throw it on your marksman and they will just shoot and they'll be so slow. The opponent will be so slow.
I could also see, in some ways, it helps herself because there are one or two times where I've ended up just trying to, with a low opponent, and this I can pick them down with tide callers.
Also, her passive is a lot better now too.
I like passives that scale with things. I think any change that implements a scaling effect on a passive is really nice. Or, you know, the ones that scale naturally, like Nasus. I think Tristana's is also, that's her passive, is the distance.
Nasus, Tristana's, Lux's as well, Leona's as well. There's a lot of passives that scale.
Yeah. Any more, like, I think they can be doing so much more with passives.
Ari's passive also scales with AP too, recently.
Anybody else have any thoughts on Nami? Seems good.
It's a nerf to her AP caster if you don't use ebb and flow correctly. If you do use it correctly, it's a buff as well as a slow.
Alright, I know some of you guys play Sona. I have to get up and like walk into the kitchen to do something, so I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. If you guys just wanna go down the list and start talking about some stuff, I'll be back in a couple moments.
So we're talking about Sona?
Yeah, just start with Power Chord and tell me what you think, and then do Hymn of Valor, Aria, Celerity. Questions I'm looking for mostly is, what do you guys think are going to be the effects of actually having this, you know, AP ratio on these now, as opposed to previous, and, like, is this going to make Song of Celerity, like, actually awesome, as opposed to just kind of a thing that was there?
So
I'm gonna ask clarification though before this. So the power chords, it's gonna be like, because like Q, it did double damage, the Q power chord, so now it's gonna have a +2 ability power on top of that. Is what's gonna happen?
I think so. They were gonna change the bases on her power chord as well, but I guess they decided not to.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is that your power chord damage will scale only if you use the Q power chord, from what it looks like.
Right, like you're not gonna get because I guess the other two are meant to be used as utility spells and not.
Yes.
I'm here to do damage, which is good because it shows this is my intent of picking QWE, whichever one you pick.
I actually did not test the W power damage reduction because they never added it on the test server, so I have no idea how good that's going to be. But I can assume it's going to be a lot better. It's 20% plus whatever the AP ratio 0.02 is.
Looking at this through like how I build Sona, which I build like the Lichbane Sona and Dominion, like at first I thought it was gonna be like I'll be doing less damage, but I'm thinking with the ability power ratios on the power chords, I might actually not be. But I'm not sure.
Unfortunately in Summoner's Rift though, I'm sorry if I'm going off topic again, but I feel like she's not going to be picked because she won't do as much damage when other utility supports are better, like Orianna, Zara, and Annie. Sona was there for AoE damage and for AoE stun and damage. But now, if you look at her Q, I can understand the AP ratio nerf to her Q from 0.7 to 0.5 because that poke is massive.
Yeah.
With AP. Going forward with her area of Perseverance, I did not like the change to her late game heal. It is already weak as it is, and this just makes it a lot weaker as a heal.
Like her heal does really like nothing. Like I almost wish by this point, because they've nerfed her heal so many times, that they would just change it to something else.
Okay, I just got back. Sorry, I had to put something in the fridge and cut up some chicken real quick. So I take it we got down to Aria of Perseverance.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, did you guys just start that or just finish that?
We pretty much are midway through that.
Okay.
Basically, they're nerfing Sona's healing. There's nothing else to be said about that.
Her healing has never seemed particularly whelming anyway.
Right, like,
mean, a
and
long
that's what I'm
time
saying.
ago,
It's like
yeah.
they just constantly keep on nerfing it, and I don't like. It's not really that overwhelming to begin with.
This does change my build, though. I will not be maxing W second after Q. It's going to be the last thing I max now. Because her Song of Celerity, her E, is now... It has a way better AP boost. 1% per 50 AP, which is 0.02. It was going to be 0.04, but I guess they decided not to do that. It's going to be like a free mini Shirelius,
Cool.
which is really helpful for her. It's a nerf early, but I'm sorry.
Go
It's a
on.
nerf early, but if she has 100 AP at least, it's about the same as before. And over 100 AP is pretty much a buff to Sona, which most Sonas get 200 AP anyways, or more.
Right.
When my friend told me, because I can see the future in Summoner's Rift sometimes, at least at, terrible low ELO, my friend's like, dude, you should play a support, man. And I'm like, nah. And he's like, yeah, dude, I'll get you Sona. So he got me Sona, and the thing that I was always the most just frowny about is I never really felt like her speed buff did a lot, except for the power chord slow, which is amazing. I really like that power chord. It sets up so many kills. But I think I'll like it a little bit more now. And
The power chord on her slow is a lot stronger now. The slow amount is going to be a lot higher.
I feel like looking at the changes, I mean, Crescendo, there's really not much to say other than Crescendo got gutted a little bit. But, I mean, what are you going to do? That's just a straight up nerf.
But I mean,
They-
it's an AoE stun.
Yeah.
It's still an AoE stun.
It
They
will be
originally
okay.
nerfed it to 0.4. But the thing is, with her AoE stun, I mean, Annie has higher AP ratios with it, as well as Cassiopeia, and other champions I can think of. Even Leona's AoE
They're not
stun
pure
is
stun,
0.8.
Annie's
Yeah, and
requires
plus-
setup, and Cass's has a targeting issue.
And plus, with Sona,
Facing,
like
rather.
Sona has like about 10 times more utility than Annie does.
It's true. However, I just feel like in Summoner's Rift, people are going to overlook that utility, and all they want in a support, because they have gold, is to bring damage. If they have AP, or be a tank. What utility supports, you're putting them in the middle, and I don't feel like that's going to help as much.
In Dominion, though, there's a lot of people that play straight up AP kill people Sona. I think that's going to
Yes,
be a lot
I
scarier.
do that. And
Yeah,
that
that's
is
how
going
I
to be a
do.
lot scarier.
That's what I do. So, like, and I think, and that's what I was saying when you were gone, is I was like, at first I thought that I would be doing less damage with like Lichbane, Void Staff, Sona, but now I'm thinking with the ability power ratio on the Q power chord, and like there's the other ability powers, but those aren't going to matter as much. I think it kind of just evens out,
I feel
if
like
not
this
more.
I feel like this will gut the Triforce build on Sona. Iceborne is still going to be good situationally, but now Lichbane is almost what you want all the time on Sona.
Oh man, I just looked down at Soraka. Does anyone have anything else they want to add or say about Sona?
Nope.
I feel like Athene's is probably going to be core on her now, especially since she has even more AP ratios. Rather than her current, it's just Q, W, and R that have AP ratios.
Okay, we are at Soraka now. Does anyone here play Soraka? Because I don't know really.
I've played her in and out. I will
Soraka's
say,
the most boring.
I will say the changes do help her, because it does make it more useful to wait on on popping the heal instead of just spamming it off the start. And the addition from the Tricker Star Call is nice because Star Call spam is some of the fun with her at times.
My only concern is that her passive, her heals, the bases and the ratios has been nerfed. Some people have did the math on this, and for her heal to be as good as the old one, they would have to be your allies would have to be 40% health or below. And if you're
So
and the
it's
Star Call
it's better for saving people than keeping people up like it used to.
Yes. For her magic resist reduction, it's a nerf unless you have 600 AP or more. Then it's the same. But I don't foresee Soraka getting 600 AP in a match.
Yeah, I mean, not even in...
Armor duration on her W is now only 2 seconds, even though the scaling is higher. Which I feel like... I just don't feel like it's going to do much. 2 seconds is not really enough. At all.
No,
I do love her
2
E.
attacks, if that. I
Yes.
mean, 3 seconds got you a solid 2 attacks, regardless of which champion it was, because most people aren't running around with 1.0.
This is actually interesting. I didn't see that is interesting. Interesting how her E is now. Although I don't know how much you can really push a mana scale with her at the same time.
You just have to build her like Rise, but you have to have more cooldown reduction. And actually, it's easy to get 40% cooldown reduction on Sona. You would just get something like Rod of Ages, then you would get like Frozen Heart and Spirit Visage. Sork Shoes, well, maybe Boots of Lucidity at first, then sell it. Or instead of getting 2 AP items, you just get, 2 CD items, you just get 1 and with having Boots of Lucidity, and then you can get like Abyssal Scepter of Allies. Maybe Tier, but it's too much.
There's one change
Gold.
in here that I really like, and one that just makes me completely, blindingly angry. The first one can no longer be cast on allies who do not use mana or are already at max mana. Great. It makes it a little idiot-proof. You also can't get body blocked as easily. I hope not anyway because of this, since it wouldn't target the other person. So I like that. But this other... Soraka is on my list of champions I would delete from the game. It just full stop. Get rid of Soraka, and get rid of Ezreal, and I never remember what the third one is until I see it against me, and then I'm like, it's that one! Which...
Teemo?
No, it's not Teemo. I don't have a problem with Teemo. The only thing that I think is wrong with Teemo is I think his blind duration's a little bit long. But if you took that away, Teemo would be fine. Wish now affects untargetable allies. Are you fucking kidding me?
I seriously hated it when I tried to target my Wish on when Vlad is in the pool or when Fizz is on the troll pool when they're about to die. It's like, why didn't I not save them?
Balancing mechanic. I mean, if you're gonna hide underground, you don't get the. If you're gonna be on your pole, if you want to be untargetable, you should get all the repercussions of being untargetable, and not just. No, this is gonna piss me off so much. It's like, hey, I'm gonna Wooglets so you can wish for me, and there's gonna be a fucking setup for it, and that's dumb. I don't like it. It makes me mad.
However, they did nerf her bases and the AP ratio on it. It's almost gutting her.
The AP ratio changes.
And she was already not picked in the first place.
There's also one more change on Soraka too, but that's further down, and that is they changed her run animation.
Oh, we'll get to that stuff a little bit later. Does anyone
Yeah.
have anything else they want to say about Soraka other than, look, I like everything. That untargetable change makes me really mad.
I feel like mana tank Soraka, like Rise or Singe, will become core on her. She wants to do damage on her Infuse. Or even restore mana.
Let's go down and look at Taric.
I mean, I could see it. I could see AA as being a big thing on her because she needs mana anyway to dump into Star Call spamming. Anyway, Taric.
I have a couple things I want to say about Taric's passive. There's like 2 or 3 people in my team that play Taric pretty often. I mean, my Argyle plays Taric, Shinryu plays Taric, and Raptor Bandito played Taric. And they usually go this sort of like fight kind of Taric. They don't go like necessarily pure support all the time. And they are going to love the crap out of this passive or hate the crap out of this passive. Because before, if you got Mura mana, you were like double Mura mana. But now it's going to be... I'm not sure how I feel about it.
What they're doing to Taric is that they're trying to shift him into more of a tank armor role, and you can see on his Q, for example, his heal now scales with 5% of Taric's bonus health.
The thing I wonder is, it's going to give him a buff that deals extra damage based off of his armor, and it's going to be on his next auto. It's probably not going to be an auto reset because that'd be sickeningly overpowered for AD Taric or just whatever bruiser fight Taric that you want to play. So I wonder if that will end up actually dealing more damage than his previous passive or not. It seems that's kind of hard to math out.
It's total armor.
But he has to hit a
not
spell.
Bonus, so he has to use a spell and then hit someone with it. And when he hits someone with it with his passive up, all of his abilities will reduce the cooldown by 2 seconds.
Which that's really awesome.
On the ones that are on cooldown.
Now it says passive empowered attacks reduce the cooldown of all abilities. It doesn't say whether that applies to champions only or if it also applies to minions because
being how Imbue works. Oh, sorry. Well, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that applies to all because what Kanku was about to say, and I'm sorry if I interrupted him, is the cooldown reduction on his auto attacks, which is moved to his passive. It always affect minions though.
Yeah, it was every swing reduced it by 1 second.
Yes, so it's going to say like, hey, I can reduce my cooldowns by 2 seconds if I just hit a minion here or if I hit you.
Okay, and looking at Imbue, Shatter, Dazzle.
Oh,
go on.
My one opinion on it is, as I've talked to others, it does sort of my 2 things here, and I'm okay with it. I like it, but my 2 things here is 1, I feel like they're putting Taric into that pigeonholed AP armor, hit points armor style tank, which we have a couple already, and also, as a couple people have said, it's going to end up with a damaging Taric to be more spammy and just burning the Shatter where Shatter was usually more situational. Just keep the cold. Yeah.
Yeah. However, you start to build CDR on Taric because he is a support. I mean, cooldown reduction.
I think everyone really needs CDR, though. I mean, that's almost a given at this stage of League of Legends.
Not marksmen. Marksmen do not, usually.
Yeah, I guess that's right. They don't necessarily need it very much.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really change my build on him, because usually, well, it may change my build slightly, because usually what build I ran with Taric was SV into Visage into Frozen. That could be Visage into other armor, but same time Frozen is your, well, not Frozen, IBC or Frozen, but yeah, that is usually your better CDR armor, so that doesn't really change that much, from at least in my perspective. And
then looking at the other abilities, I mean, Dazzle, that's just straight up changes. Nothing's going to be different about the effect. The stun is unchanged, and I think that would have been the only particular significant thing. I mean, the rest of the stuff is just, well, the cooldown increase is going to be kind of painful.
And
but
same with alt. Actually,
with
AP
the new
Tarek no longer
passive,
exists.
though, do you think it'll be fine? Like the cooldown change?
I think it'll be okay,
Because
but
Dazzle AA
ability-
means
yes.
that's 2 seconds off right there.
I think it'll be okay, but ability power Tarek no longer exists because Shatter no longer scales off of AP. Like that is gone completely.
Yeah, and the
And-
radiance, and that is a bit of a wallop to the radius damage.
Yeah, as well as Dazzle being lower than it already is.
Yeah, that's going to be, for the people that liked top lane AP, that's going to be a little sad for them.
The imbue AP ratio is also cut in half.
Why am I saying top lane? He never really, there's only really top lane. I mean, no one's ever bottom lane Taric in Dominion, have they?
I've seen someone did it in solo queue, but it was against a Heimer, so he was getting obliterated.
Hey, if you guys want to do
But it's
something
strange.
fun, duo Taric Rammus. That's hilarious.
The only
is
problem is that
Oh, go on.
the only problem with that is that as like as soon as the enemy team has enough magic damage, Tarek and Rammus, if they just blindly build armor, same goes for Malphite, they'll just get blown up.
Well, let's assume you have 2 teammates that are doing the other stuff. You know, like you have an Annie going APMR, and then you have an ADC with a Hex Drinker or something. I feel like it's more of a blind pick strat than anything else, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else they want to say about Taric before I start scrolling down some more?
Nope.
Okay, minor changes and bug fixes. We'll probably just be able to speed through these. Kennen, they fixed a bug where Electrical Surge wouldn't properly hit people if the mark... if the mark dropped while he was in the middle of casting, it should hit now. And if he casts it as it's eaten by something else, then it should still deal damage. And then Shen's collision radius at the end of Shadow Dash has been bumped back up a little bit, which is nice. Singed and Soraka improved their running animation. What the hell does that even mean?
There is a video on Soraka's running animation.
Does this change the scaling to make it easier to see when they're affected by speed boosts or something? Because other than that...
No, they changed it including the base running animation, so
Okay.
this does include just base MS2. I have not seen Singe's, I have seen Soraka's, and Soraka moves more like a goat. But then again, she has goat. Just like, you know.
She should,
Why
so
not,
that's
so?
not bad at all.
Alright. A little knock bug fix where the Dustbringer thing was applying inconsistently. That's a nice change. And this is really funny, but only applied to Summoner's Rift. If Banshee Veil popped at the same moment Assault and Battery got cast, she'd get stuck on her charging animation. That's amusing.
That'd be funny. I wish I could duplicate that bug before it gets patched.
Might be able to. Just play an SR and count seconds, then click it. Shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is amazing change. The term hat is now searchable in the item shop. That's minor but very useful.
This goes for
I was
Deathcap.
so excited by
Everyone
this.
Is Wooglets properly tagged, Alia? Did they tag it correctly? Because if I press in BFT, things don't show up, and that makes me sad.
Just go on, I'll figure it out in a second.
Okay, cool. While Ollie is looking to that, the following items have been removed from the game: Elsa's Miracle and Oracle's Elixir. I'm really sad because I liked Elsa's Miracle. Actually, I bought that all the damn time. I really liked that item. It was like
Oracle's Elixir was only for Summoner's Rift. I'm
I know.
sorry.
No, wait, no, Oracle's Elixir's SR, and Elsa's Miracle is only SR also, but I wanted to say that I really liked Elsa's Miracle. Your character turned purple when
Oh
it
no.
popped.
No, Elsa's Miracle was in Dominion.
Was it? Huh?
Yes,
I don't
and
remember
it
seeing
reduced
it
the
there.
cooldown. It reduced the cooldown on Clairvoyance, Revive, not Revive, Heal and Clarity. Heal, Clarity, and Clairvoyance, I believe. Cooldown reductions.
I guess money was too tight in Dominion to ever buy that, though. But,
Oh yeah, you type in
Like it.
hat. Type in hat applies to 2 items: Spectre's Cowl and Wooglets.
in Dominion specific, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was scared that Rabadon's got left out, and I'm like, that's not right. That's Summoner's Raft. Dominion is, like, the other mode. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
Elisa's Miracle's on every single map.
man, I didn't know that. I just assumed it wasn't on there because it had, like, a stacky, scaly thing. But you also really didn't need it on Dominion at all because, I mean, you had plenty of mana Regan. But
Well, it's heal, clairvoyance, and clarity. Like, unless you have clairvoyance,
it just,
It's-
just mana Regan.
yeah.
And, the Regan. I don't
The
care
other
about summoner
problem too
spells.
is that it sets your build back as well. Just
Uh,
getting that item will set your build back by a
Yeah,
lot.
we
Yeah,
didn't
'cause it's
have enough
1100.
money in Dominion to pick it up. In Summoner's Rift, I mean, you could, compensate with, like, farm or something, but in Dominion, since the income was a lot more steady, then it's just like, well, I'm not going to complete that other thing.
Even the problem in Summoner's Rift is that supports could not get that item because it also sets them back from buying wards.
Yeah, I
And
used
you
it
also
on,
lose your gold per 10 as well. You will. And as support in the Season 3 meta, you do not use Heal, Clairvoyance, or Clarity.
Okay, we're getting
So-
to some
Ah.
items now. What maps are these available on?
Support items are available in all maps, including Dominion.
Now, when it says support items, does it straight up support only, like only certain champs can buy them?
No,
No,
it's-
but it does gold per 5, and yeah.
Okay. Now,
Of the
are any of these worth
At least-
picking up on Dominion?
I could see Face of the Mountain.
Frost Queen's claim might pick up as well.
Yeah, I remember actually seeing there was somebody who was messing with Ice Shard on Singe because it was an AoE. So it is a slow. It could happen, but yeah, those were about as much as I could see out of this because mana regen is only so good, and gold per
Per
is
10.
only so good.
2 seconds slow on Frost Queen's claim. That's kind of nice.
50%. It's a better version of Gunblade, I want to say.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What was the other one that
You
you
mean-
said looked?
You mean
kinda
the
good?
Shard of True Ice?
Yes,
of the
it was
Mountain?
called Charter.
You said
Ooh.
Gunblade.
A face Phalanx could be used like on a tank as tank if they wanted to say start Targon's Brace. Targon's Brace is still not as good as going 2 reds probably, but if you have a high HP guy and you want to just mess with it, hey, it's a it's a shield and mini bomb.
Whoa, I think I really like Face of the Mountain. This would make delay supports. Like you guys know what I'm talking about, right? When you're just a support and you're hanging out at top against someone solo for a while.
It's
Yeah.
also quite cost effective.
Like Janna
I
or
think,
something.
Yeah,
Because it has
only
cooldown
two-
reduction.
It's only 2k and it gives 10% CDR. Like with
And
that health regen.
375 health.
I'm just
Yes.
seeing 25 health regen per 5. It's so good. That's is there anything that goes higher than that on HP 5? I think that's got to be the best, right?
And Dominion?
That items that is the best, I think.
Cool. Yeah, Face the Mountain, man. Swiftfoot, you're right. That looks great. And there is something that I'm seeing on these that might be noteworthy, but I don't know how much it would come up. The way that the attack execute thing works, like that could actually be really good on points for specifically gatting out the big minion that the tower likes to target, and being able to have the tower one-shot the rest of the ones. Like,
And that
very
closest ally
situational.
will also get gold.
yeah, it's pretty
Plus 10.
situational, but I think that that'd be neat because you can just pick out that fat one that does most of the capturing.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see it situationally someone starting targets in place of two reds, because in some ways it is a prospector's shield, be it a little behind
Wait a minute.
the other others in health, but yeah.
Everything that's not a champion is coded as a minion, right? Do you think it's still tagged that way? Am I gonna gat down a Heimer turret?
You
I
probably
thought
could.
Am I gonna gat down Tibbers? I mean, he has to be below
You
200,
could.
but-
Below
This is
You could
200
get
health.
down everything.
What if you gat
It's-
down Tibbers and heal your team, and then that's why you win the fight? Can this play
That's
happen?
actually
Also-
interesting.
It's also 50 gold to your ally plus 10
Oh man.
for your ally.
No, because like if
So
you fight
you-
against someone who uses minions, then that effectively gives a little bit of extra sustain to your team. What?
2% of the person's max health, the user. So, yes, it is good on tanks.
Whoa. Hey man, make a note to play with that. That sounds like it's worth a little bit of investigation. Anything else you want to like even glance at on here before we move on to the next section?
I want to say a little more about Frost Queen's claim is that when it says spells and basic attacks, if you use a spell, you get 8 gold. If you also auto attack the same target, you get 8 gold as well.
Oh,
Up to once every 10 seconds per enemy. So if you hit enough, you'll get a lot of gold. The only problem is that you don't want to kill a minion, because that passive just gets disabled.
gotcha.
And the slow 50% is really good
Yeah, I saw that.
for 2
That's
seconds on a
pretty damn
60-second cooldown.
Like, there's a lot of places and a lot of situations that can help in, especially if you have a slow anyway, because you can start staggering your slows, and it just adds another thing to fill up some of that dead time where you're waiting on cooldowns to come up.
I guess you'd have to play Frost Queens for the actives, because as I look at that and at that gold, there are better options for.
Yeah, the GP5 and Mana Regan seem kind of wasted.
It is. But it's still worth trying. Like,
Yeah,
I like it on my
let's play with it.
supports
Yeah.
and all that.
Actually, in a funny way, I can see it on Morg soil people and gain tons of cash.
Well, like, I guess you could, like, if it's still worth it without the gold per 5, then it's just like, hey, it's just a bonus.
That's true.
Yeah.
One second, I'm gonna close my door.
Alright.
I think the active is what really makes a Frost Queen's claim attractive, because you have to target it on the enemy now and all nearby enemies. So it's a good AoE starter. And then you can just AoE stun, because they'll be too slow.
Okay. Well, Aegis. Is this gonna be, like, just... Did they take out that other piece? Because...
Took it out. Because
Okay.
they took it out, and it's the first item in ban. Or it's basically they took it out and decided to make it the first. The starting item was the band, which they changed the icon, I think, afterwards,
Uh-huh.
and they made Aegis into the second item with four starting pieces.
Ugh, I don't like those.
They took out
Yeah.
Ambler of Valor
Yeah, that's what it's
because
called.
of Face of the Mountain.
Okay.
So you can't really have both. Also, like, I'm not sure the cost is cheaper or not. Let's
Okay,
see.
so Aegis is just gonna clog up inventory space, that's all, right?
It's clogging out inventory space. It also costs 50 more gold.
Oh,
Right now it costs 1900 gold, but with this
spend-
change it's going to cost 50 more.
yeah, I'll spend 50 more gold for an Aegis. I'm okay with that. Banner of Command. That's still in our map, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is a really attractive item to Zyra.
Yeah, it
and
looks
Heimer
really
now.
good.
Yeah, Zyra and Heimer just are love this item.
I
And
don't like either of those champions. They both enrage me to fight.
It's also situational to Malzahar and Annie, I mean, 20%
Can you
cooldown reduction
Heimer
is a
promote
lot.
a promoted? Can you, Yo Dog? I heard you like promotions. Summer promote your promoted minions, so you can have promoted minions with a promoted minion.
No.
Okay, good. Although
Sounds situational with Annie. 15% on Tibbers. Oh, God.
because it starts spelling
Oh
Tibbers
my
in all
gosh.
caps. Kid, this is amazing.
What
Who else has
what
it?
really
Who
makes
else
it
has stuff?
attractive? I think that's it. It's just Malzahar, Annie,
Oh,
Malzahar, Annie. But Malzahar's Voiling's only skill with AD.
But what
so-
about oh well, never mind. I was about to say, but I was like AP. I was thinking of like who has minions and never mind. I can't think of it anymore.
Oh, man,
But
that
I was
would
thinking
make-
I was thinking of an AD champ, and I was like, I was like, oh wait, not worth, because they don't scale with AP at all.
Ganks for AD, Mals, and Yorick, right? Are those going to be cash money?
That's who I was thinking of, Yorick. I was like Yorick, and then I
What?
was like, wait, you're not gonna build AP on Yorick.
No, but your
no.
crazy support, Janna, could swing down with a Banner of Command and a BFT.
Janna
and
or
some
even
other item.
Zyra and
Yeah.
Heimer.
Oh, man.
Actually, it makes me wonder for Soraka again. I used on SR. If I wanted to be funny with side pushing, I'd promote and then I'd sit. Then as I push it, I'd heal the minion back up and keep going.
that's
I don't know if
dirty.
it works as well, but
You could play with that. Like, why not? Experiment a little bit. That sounds like a fun few games.
And
It's
never mind
not-
the
it's
fact
not
that
bad
Banner
stats.
is 20% CDR. Like, that is a major attractive
Yeah,
item.
that's
select
one of the
APs.
things that I'm looking at the most. 20% Kadur right there. So, Banner Command, I take it we're just all excited to play with it?
Yes.
Okay. We speak for everyone, apparently. Mikhail's Crucible. Are we concerned, really?
it's interesting.
No one's gonna
It's
use
just a
it
whole.
still.
It's just a whole bunch of mana and a whole bunch of mana regen that we don't need.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a whole bunch of
it's-
mana regen.
I mean, we don't really see it because it's mana regen, and because I guess in some ways there aren't enough true supports for the active to really get used well.
The active is also on the same cooldown as cleanse because it is a cleanse, but with a heal added onto it.
Okay, should we
Yeah.
talk about Woda then?
Otherwise, I would build. Yeah, water.
All right,
You
my
can finish your
saying
thought,
this
Ollie.
straight up.
That's cool.
Otherwise, if I wanted Chalice, I would have gotten Athene's Unholy Grail, not Mikhail's Crucible.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Because Athenes gives you that big proc mana return. Alright. So we're at Woda. Has some CDR on it?
I don't like it.
I
like
don't
it, though.
either.
It's
And this is
not
more
aura.
of an SR's perspective, but I liked the aura. It was nice, offensive aura for supports, and stripping it out just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't think I would buy this anymore without the aura. I mean,
I'm-
there's...
Well, like the aura isn't the big deal with me. It's like that it has mana regen, and it's a wasted stat because like you would buy it on a lot of champions that don't have mana.
And you have to
Yeah.
build 2 Fairy Charms on it.
I mean,
I don't like that. That's a waste. 2.
Now a bunch of people are just gonna buy Hextech Revolver and just sit on it because there's no real
I mean,
good alternative for it to build
I
into for like people like Vlad.
I don't know. For me, in my perspective, from Morgana, it becomes more of a buy because of the cooldown reduction on top of it. But yeah,
Yeah,
And it's
I mean,
cheaper.
mana regen helps okay on Morgana because she uses mana, but it's not like she needed it.
well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because I'm
I-
thinking of champions like Vlad and Kennen and like
just
who
like
else?
The aura. Like, being able to
But-
pick that up and, like, bring some utility to my team, in addition to having stats that were actually
as
useful
I
in
said,
Dominion. We're highly
was
itemized
the
for
offense.
AP CDR already.
Well,
I will say this,
I
though.
wouldn't say as much now because there's CDR. There's like much different options to AP CDR now between that and banner and yeah.
It feels like we're going over.
Oh, and
cap on
Mord.
it.
Like, what is like Mord is just gonna have a Hextech revolver and just sit on it too.
That's true.
That's to me more of a spell vamp problem.
Yeah, spell vamp is on what 3 items in the game, and Mord, and Nasus. No, Nasus doesn't.
Actually, Spellvamp is actually on 2 items only now, I think. Oh wait, no, it
Yeah.
is. You're right, it's 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that is
revolver.
3.
The revolver counts as an item somehow.
Yeah.
Oh well, I thought did they remove it off of Spectral
Yeah,
Raid?
Spectral is now a direct monster heal. Monster
Yeah,
kill.
okay.
Anybody else have any comments they want to make on Woda?
All I can say is it might be good on Karma. I mean, the mana regen helps her a little bit. The cooldown reduction is fine, but that's about it. I don't foresee it on too many APs that would need mana regen. To me, it's a waste on Mordekaiser too. With like, you really want to spend 2 Fairy Charms just to get more Spell Vamp?
Alright, I'm gonna go down to Twin Shadows then. And I like it. The only downside to it is I don't really like building it on anyone. I mean, the speed is really good and the reveal is really good, but I always find myself regularly not caring about anything else on it.
I like how they specifically buffed it for Crystal Scar and Twisted Tree Line.
That makes it extra attractive. At 1800, I mean, it feels like a good item to pick up.
Yes. It also
Yeah,
gives
it
50
seems like
AP
it's pretty
now
good.
as well.
I kind of want to get it as like a start, like a first item to like just to up my base AP and like especially since Sweeper got nerfed. Like I think it looks really good actually. Well then I don't know.
I think the reference to Sweeper was a really good one to make because I always thought that I'm trying to phrase this. Here we go. Sweeper's speed is the thing that I miss the most about that item, and Twin Shadows really didn't quite have the same amount as it for less reveal. So I'd get Sweeper because great reveal and great movement speed. But now, if I'm looking for a reveal item, I might be more inclined to get Twin Shadows. One, because magic resistance is good to have, and it's cheap. So it gives you cheap access to MR and speed, in addition to giving you Seeking Reveal, which is interesting, but you don't have the health and CDR, so I think it's going to be kind of like pick your reveal item, potentially.
Yeah, and it is a bit more situational. I mean, although at the same time, there are people that talk about it's not. The problem is in a lot of ways Super got over nerfed. The health isn't that great anymore, and there are people that for like revealing a stealth they'll play Sweeper, but at the same time there's people that aren't even wanting to buy that. They would prefer to pick up an Oracle's extract and run with that.
Yeah, I think it's really gonna define of what kind of vision do you want. Like, do you want, like, because Sweeper does stealth and trap detection, while this actually is just to find champions to catch them out. And it's a more active vision than Sweeper is, I think.
The only problem is this will not find stealth champions.
Yep.
So if someone's stealth, it will not even see that at all. It'll just run around or pass through them.
And that's where Sweeper excels the most, is you can pre-tag that, Wukong Vayne, whatever.
Yes.
And especially Shaco, because just F that clown. He's does not make me happy. He just,
Yes.
hey,
I hate that clown.
I'm not
Especially when Pilar plays it.
The thing, though, I'm looking at is, I'm pretty sure it's going to come down to a buy one item or the other, like you were saying, Rachel, because you're not going to have that much gold. I mean, it's only 1,800. That's a very attractive price, but where do you fit this in your build? I mean, I would say if you're gonna get Twin Shadows, like maybe drop the guys, go for Void Staff. But
I find Twin Shadows more effective on supports, actually.
Oh, rather than building on AP champ, yeah. Okay.
Yes, and that's only if they don't have a stealth. If they have a stealth, I will get Sweeper
Makes
over
sense.
this.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. Like, I think Twin Shadows is a good vision item for. They don't have stealth, but I still want some kind of knowledge to figure out where they're going. So, like, if you're planning on building Twin Shadows, maybe you won't get Clairvoyance, and maybe you'll go for a more offensive summoner spell instead.
It is also a 40% slow for 2.5 seconds.
The slow is real nice on it. It makes chasing. I've used it before, just chasing someone away from a point because it's not slow. Not for the vision, just because hey.
There are so many slow items that are better than, well, not better than Twin Shadows. I mean, actually no, Frost Queen is not better than Twin Shadows for slowing.
There's something you might not be taking into account. Is it affects your speed and the enemy's speed. It gives you movement speed and it takes away movement speed from them. That combined is kind of substantial.
Yeah. And it gives minor MR, 30, but it's still MR regardless.
I wouldn't say 30's... Well, yeah, okay. I mean, 30 is minor. It's not a Negatron Cloak. Does anybody else have anything they want to say about Twin Shadows before we start scrolling through some more?
Nope.
Okay. Let's, I'm scrolling down a bunch. There's a lot of Summoner's Rift adjustments.
Yeah, I think that it's
made.
Masteries is next.
Masteries have been updated. Great! No information. Gives us a link. Okay, I guess I will click that. Thank you, League of Legends website. Oh, I have to toggle all my scripts on, I guess. We can learn how to no-script Firefox together, guys! Okay. So yeah, let's start with, I'm just gonna go left for right, and then I'm gonna say things that I think are interesting, and then if I miss anything, you guys chime in. Sound good?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Double-edged sword. Do a little bit extra damage. Take a little bit of damage. I think with lifesteal being a thing, this could be pretty safe.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. It is a new concept that Riot wants to add because we've never seen it before, but I feel like this is really good.
I think it's pretty neat. Fury, you know, that's the plus attack speed, plus CDR sorcery up front.
Sorcery
Butcher,
is different. It's 5% instead of 4%.
Then I like it
When you
more.
click
This means you can actually cap. You don't have that
Yes, you can
9
actually cap.
anymore. I like that.
And also, like, I don't know if it was before, like, I haven't, like, looked deeply into the current mastery tree, but I don't think it's been that, like, on the first tier before, was it?
No,
No, it's
been
always
safe.
on the first tier.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
always
you
on
can get it as, like, if you just want cooldown reduction, like, maybe as, like, a tank or something, you could just tag it.
No. It's always been first tier.
Oh, it's always been?
Oh, must be thinking of the pen
Yeah.
that's always second.
No,
So
okay.
the pen is third.
The pen's third? What? I thought sorcery turned into the pen.
I think in the season 1 and 2 it did, but whatever the
season
first
3.
it changed to third tier. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right, it is first. Okay. For some reason I thought the cooldown reduction was deeper in the offensive tree.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was like you went 4 into that and then took the pen. I thought. Oh no, it's the AP, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the AP per
I
level.
got those two backwards. You can see how much time we all spend in our mastery trees after we set them, guys. Just click everything once. Close it up for a year. What were those called again? I know Summon's Insight's important. Which, I mean, we'll get to the support stuff later. Butcher being in the offense tree. Has that always
It's
been
always been offense.
I feel like it hasn't been that
it's
on the front, right?
it's always been there and it's always been at the top. The only difference
Yeah, it's always
is
been at the
that-
top. I know that
okay.
for a fact.
I haven't used it, so I don't know. Also, I'm seeing a lot more. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more chaining talents overall. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5 in offense, and then there's 3, 4, 5. There's 6 in defense, and then there's 4 in support. So I feel like there's a lot more of those that lead in other ones. Exposed weakness. I like this a lot. This is really pretty. Damaging them with a spell increases allied champions' damage to it by 1% for the next 3 seconds. That's really neat.
Looking at this tier, it's going to be a must pick up for Dom because the other option isn't that great for us.
Yeah, the other one, the other single point one you're referring to, right?
Feast.
Yeah, I mean we don't really care about that.
Yeah. Exposed
seems like
weakness
it's
is also
jungle
It's also
talent,
have to pick it up
maybe?
for Butcher.
We have brute force, which hey, that's your scaling AD, and plus 5 AD, and then you have your AP equivalent also, which is nice. Spell weaving, damaging enemy champion with a basic attack increases spell damage by 1%. So is this going to finally teach people to freaking auto attack with their casters?
Yes.
Yes, and it also affects Teemo and Kale and Dinah the most.
Ooh.
And Lulu.
I don't like Teemo now. Maybe I'm unhappy with that. And it turns into, blade weaving as well, dealing enemy champion damage with a spell increases basic attack damage by 1%. So it all sorts of, it's good. I like it. Also we have, what's the other one? The other one over there is Executioner, and I like how it's not AD or AP specific. It's just whatever. Increases damage dealt champions below 20% by 5%. Helps finish people off. And
It's 50 at full ranks.
Oh really? Ooh, that's really nice. It doesn't show that on the thing.
It does. You click on it to reach it.
I don't have
This
to
is
click
clickable.
and re-click and click.
Yeah.
That kind of.
The thing that you have to notice about now is that penetration is not in the third row anymore.
The
Now it's
masteries
just
are now
80.
just bonuses.
And actually, penetration is in the masteries, but it's all the way at the bottom or near the bottom.
Yeah, we'll get to that pretty soon here. Dangerous Game's kind of cool. Killing a champ restores 5% missing health and mana. I really like that a lot, and it's also not AD or AP specific, which I think that talents, or masteries rather, are good in that they're very general. I mean, yeah, there's going to be there's going to be mental force, brute force, that's AD, AP, but I like how the rest are generalized. Is there still a crit talent in here? I'm not seeing one.
Doesn't
Yes.
look like it.
Gross attack
but it's
damage
further
2%, Archmage AP 2%, a lot of percent scaling. Ooh, critical hits grant attack speed. Give me my flurry of blows back, man. That's a different video game entirely, but I loved it. So Frenzy's a pretty cool talent. Mastery, excuse me. I like that. And look at this. It's both pens. That's great. I like how they're combining
The thing
AD
is,
and
it's
AP.
now sort.
And
that's
also,
the
it's
thing-
really good if you use hybrid pen runes.
That's true.
The only problem is. Sorry, go on.
I think I was saying what I was going to say. The only thing here is that it is percentage. It's it's not flats. Although from one of the whispers that may be sensible anyway with what the whispers of where pen may be going.
And I was gonna say the percentage pen is now at max 6% for masteries. It's not 8 anymore. So it's a nerf to assassins and burst mages. It is not a nerf to hybrid.
Outside of the pen change, I like everything in here. Except Feast.
Arcane Blade is basically Spellblade as what we have now.
Yep.
And Havoc is really good.
I really, really like how
But-
it... like, all those talents that are like, increase damage situation, increase this situation, it applies to AD or AP. That's great. It makes it a lot easier for any characters that have hybrid builds. Nurak Mals, Diana, Kale, Teemo... not Diana. Well, no, Diana can do it. Ori sometimes does stuff like that. as well. I think it's going to be a lot nicer to those champions, or any champion that has, ratios or spells that do both things for whatever reason. That's going to be really cool.
Havoc 3% is really good now,
that's more than 3% because remember all the other talents and stuff that are going into it.
Yes.
So that's a significant step up.
Current Havoc is 2%, but you need 3 points in it to reach at 2%.
Anybody else have any comments on the offense tree?
I think it's good.
I like the offense tree.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can beat that comment. It's good. Let's look at defense.
Whoa.
Block reduces damage from champion-based attacks. Recovery, health per 5. Enchanted armor, up in the first row, man. Increases bonus armor and magic resistance by. Is that 5% with 2 points?
5%.
Yes.
And I don't know why it's all the way at the top. It doesn't make sense.
I feel like
to me.
we're just gonna take that all the time.
Truth be told, I don't know. Most people I've listened to that are Dom pros hate it. They would rather have block and recovery. In my opinion, it's done that way so that if tanks want it, they can have it. But people like the marksman can't take advantage of it like they could with flats. They would flats.
The thing is, this combines really well with Leona's Eclipse.
Tanks like Taric, Alistar, Rammus,
Leona.
They'll like it, but it's more of it allows the tanks to have the bonus without giving free defenses to the marksman and to the heavy AP mages.
That sounds really reasonable. Yeah, the flats would be better, but this is really good, and it also is really accessible. And then tough skin, damage reduced from neutral monsters by 1 does not affect lane minions. That makes me sad.
Yeah, because too many people were getting free damage reduction from minions and SR top lane.
Oh well,
and bottom
that
lane,
too.
yeah.
But yeah, bot lane Dominion, man, and top left minion waves for some strange reason. It's always the minions between windmill and drill that kill people. Usually the ones coming from the windmill heading to drill. No, it's they're coming from the windmill heading down towards drill, and they're killed by the minions that are coming from the drill. I don't know why that exact weird specific situation happens, but
yeah. So tough skin is not for Dominion.
Nope, definitely not. Which means bladed armor, we don't need that either because, well, it doesn't work on the lane anymore. Unyielding. Cool.
It's really good. All damage. This includes spells.
This is all incoming damage. I mean, it's not going to do a lot for spells, but hey, every little bit helps. Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's a bonus because before it used to work against only AD. I mean, sure, it only takes 1 point off a spell, but hey, at least it works on both. Great. Much like the offense tree, what I like there. I like it when it just applies to both, man. I don't have to make a whole separate mastery tree that has every single talent the same minus like 3 of them. I can leave it kind of general. I mean, I still have to have 2, but they can still have basically all the rest of the stuff clicked in them. Veteran Scars and Juggernaut. It's health, max health. That's good.
Percentage max health is
really huge.
Well, that's all we're going to get
go
there, because we're not going to take bladed armor, so I mean it's literally going to be Veteran Scars, unyielding. So
pretty much,
that's your defense build. I mean, automatically in Dominion, it's going to be 2 enchanted armor, and then it's going to be 2 block, and then 1 recovery if you really don't care. But you should probably just get unyielding anyway. It's 2 block unyielding, Veteran Scars, pick up Juggernaut, and then where do we go from there? We have damage taken, reduced damage taken by 3% from enemies that have impaired movement. That's pretty cool. If you reduce their movement with a slow or something, they do less damage. That's really interesting. And then here's your flats back. Deeper in the tree, but still present. So if you liked them before, you can still pick them up. You just don't have the option to do that. Well, what Swiftfoot explained. He already covered that.
Yeah, Veteran Scars is actually stronger than the current one. The current one's only 30 health, but for 1 point. This one is 3 points, but now it's 36 health.
Ooh.
Which, yeah.
Hold on, I'm seeing something here. I think that resistance is better than hardiness, because hardiness gives you 10% reduced damage by critical strikes, and we typically don't roll a lot of crit in Dominion. I mean, outside of Youmuu's. That's about it, right? What else are people getting that's crit heavy? I.e. Jace?
Or like
Yeah.
if there's a Tryndamere or something.
Yeah, we're not rolling a lot of crit, really. So that's going to make evasive way better because that mitigates AoE.
Right. And
AoE
there's a
magic.
lot more AoE than crit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Your
Guys, I found
supports also
something on
have a
my
lot of
own.
AoE magic.
I'm so
As
happy.
well.
You learned things.
I discovered a thing. See, I still have just enough.
One
street
thing I
cred to play
definitely
this
have
game.
to say is that if I were from one thing I will definitely say is that the base was definitely better than its variation from from season 3 on the because the amount of damage that was behind that. So definitely makes it makes it nicer to get. Although I did notice that.
Perseverance is a really cool talent. 3% missing health every 5 seconds. So that's percent gain. That will be really useful for point delaying.
Something I just thought about is with evasive, if you want evasive, you're going to have to make either you're going to have to sacrifice Juggernaut or you're going to have to sacrifice oppression because evasive is chained to the magic resist.
Well, that's not entirely true because if you look at the one after that, like just going down further, we look at Tenacious, +1 armor and a half a magic resist for each nearby champion. I feel like you could skip that because in Dominion, your allies die left and right, and you get stuck alone a lot. And a lot of solo D'ing on a tower. Do you think that you could skip on that to go ahead and pick up the opposite one? Because this is... What is this? This is 4 armor and 2 MR, right?
The Wukong passive, essentially.
Yeah, so
Because
that's
his works the same way.
4 armor, 2 MR. However, that is getting the rest of hardiness. So, let's see. Hardiness is... So that's 6 armor, 6 MR. And you can only get... Oh, hold on. Let me click buttons down this tree real quick so I can check this math in my head here. You take Veteran Scars, and you pick up Juggernaut. And then pick up Oppression, because that's really useful for your... And then, let's see. You go into... pick up Resistance, you get that. And then... Where do we go from here? So you get Perseverance. Perseverance 3 looks good, but I don't feel like you're going to really need Second Wind. This is just like if you're going to be like a tank, you know? I mean, I don't think you're going to need Second Wind. So, what does that leave you with? Leaves you with Tenacious, Runic Shield. That's 50 health, extra shield. If you're going to be a tank, I mean, you're going to be alive for a while. That's going to get poked down, I feel like. I feel like we can skip that. What do you guys think?
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're not gonna... I think the shield can be helpful if you don't have a point to put in something. But it seems like there's plenty of good things in the defense tree that you could put in to better use.
If I get everything I like, I get 22. And you obviously don't need all of that for Legendary Guardian. And that's also not including Swiftness. So if we put another point in Swiftness, we get 33. So
Which is somewhat what some of the Dom people have been chuckling about there are varying opinions on the other trees, and there are some people do 4, 23, and 3 or something along those lines.
Maybe, but I
a
feel
lot
like
of people are saying that the defense tree is just ridiculous.
Well, I'm playing a lot of Leona, and I don't need foot speed to chase because I have Zenith Blade, so I'm not going to take Swiftness. And Oppression Reduces damage taken by 3% from enemies that have impaired movement, slows, snares, stuns, taunts, etc. Leona doesn't have any persistent stuff like that, so I would drop oppression and I'd get 21. That's if I was playing Leona. If I was playing a different champion, it might be different, but I found me tanking right there.
Oh no, Leona, you want oppression because she has what, 2 impairs?
3.
The stun shield and the Zenith Blade.
Well, they can't damage me while they're stunned anyway.
It's only good. It's only good if if you miss your ult and just slows them. That's the only time it's good.
If I miss my ult, it's bad on me anyway. But I mean, if
We
they're
didn't
stunned,
mention how we don't need to spend a point in like the revive mastery.
Shh, we didn't get to that tree. What the? Okay, so Rachel spoiled it. Defense tree. Defense tree's so great that like we need more points, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, moving on. Rachel, you brought it up. You explain what's up.
Well,
happened?
okay, so none of the summoner spell masteries are here, because like it says on the thing where it's like we changed it because we felt that it forced people to point points based on their summoner spells.
Well, it damn sure did for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Especially, I mean, Ignites,
Yeah,
Ignite
and
passive,
the Exhaust, Ignite
Smite
passive. You always
yeah,
had those two.
Exhaust,
Every build.
Smite passive.
They changed
just
Well,
some
the reason why I
revive
said it
passive.
is because like we didn't mention it when we went through the offense or the defense tree.
Well, because we hadn't gone through all the trees, you know. And hey, look at this. None of the trees. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, I
It's
ruined
okay.
it.
You didn't know. you didn't know.
I was gonna, I was thinking it was gonna be at the beginning, but then it didn't happen in the beginning.
No.
And yes, okay.
Well, we've gone through all 3 trees, guys, and you know what? We don't have these anymore. And then I was going to be like, what the hell? And you guys were going to be like, well, Gander. And then you were going to explain the whole thing to the audience and me. Ta-da!
Okay.
Maybe I should have... Next time I have a good one like that, I'll leave it. I'll tell you beforehand.
Okay.
All right, but about the utility tree. Phase Walker, that's always been a good mastery. I don't know why they changed the name. Or does it have the same name? I never paid attention to the name. I just knew it was the...
They changed the name.
Okay, yeah. Well,
They changed the
there you
name.
go. Fleet of Foot, great.
Yeah.
Movement speed, nice. Mana Regen, we don't care about that. And Scout, we don't care about. So this is automatically, you take Phase Walker and Fleet of Foot, right?
So
I don't
sometimes they
know.
take the mana regen on the utility tree because some champions they need a little bit of mana regen. Like sometimes I go on like Sona and Annie and those champions where I'll take it because you don't need like mana regen for like items really, but you need the little bit from
Yeah.
the utilities.
In my opinion, because of the chain on it, people are going to take meditation if they want Strength of Spirit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this will kind of top off that Mana Regen that you get from Crystal Scar Aura a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're filling the cup all the way to the top as opposed to just that weird line.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody knows about the cup line, right?
On like the red cups.
Like every cup. Like, it's hard to
I thought
find
you
a
were
cup
talking
that
about-
doesn't have a line in there somewhere.
I thought you were talking about because you know that those red cups, the lines mean stuff.
Yes, but on...
I didn't. Never mind.
Just go look through someone's cupboard at their house and look at how many cups have lines in them. Not mugs, not ceramic. We're just talking plastic. There's almost, on all of them, there's some sort of line on all of them.
Oh.
Someone
Yeah,
out there
I
on the
feel
internet
like
gets it.
I don't know. I feel like meditation. Yes, I do get it on my supports actually, because I often go even to the point of chalice, especially now that the utility is just as strong, but you need the mana for the utility scaling, so you can spam more spells. I don't know. That's just me.
Okay, so Mana Regen is good. Okay. I've been educated. Summoner's Insight reduces cooldown of summoner spells by 4%. This is still a great talent. And
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
stealth buff to Total Biscuit. He now has more game presence by now you can convert all of your biscuits into, or all of your potions into Total Biscuits. Because
I think this is actually
why not?
really interesting.
That's kind
I
of
think
cool.
this is really interesting, and I really want to try it and see,
That's kind of cool.
like try it on mages. Like I don't know if it's really worth going that deep into utility, but it's kind of interesting. Like I think it'd be really useful on mages because then you don't have to like then I wouldn't have to take the mana regen. I wouldn't have to
Yeah.
worry about
Well,
taking the mana regen.
let's look at this point by point. I mean, let's say with my initial knee-jerk reaction, I don't really care about meditation, so I take the 3 fleet of foot, 3 in that, and I put 3 in Summoner's Insight, and then I have a point to spend, so I throw that in meditation. And then I look at the next section, I'm like, well, I'm not really worried about the spell vamp, I'm not really worried about the gold, so I take Runic Affinity and put 2 more in meditation, and then throw that extra point in Strength of Spirit, and hey, what do you know? Now I have both. Does that sound
Yep.
good?
Yeah.
I think that's good. And then after that, we have bonus starting gold, and then the extra gold bonus, more gold, 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 gold. Unless you want to play a super greedy build, we don't have to worry about that.
I would get Expended Mind if you're planning on going further down.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to go down, you get the mana, and then just take inspiration for the hell of it, maybe.
Oh, you don't need inspiration.
Well, our levels stay pretty balanced, don't they?
Yeah, you don't need inspiration.
So what do you even get?
No, okay, here's what I got. I got 1 Phase Walker, 3 Fleet of Foot, 3 Meditation, 3 Summoner's Insight, 1 Strength of Spirit, 1 Alchemist, 1 Runic Infinity, 1 Culinary Master, 3 an Expended Mind, then I get Intelligence.
Oh, so
3
you
of
put
them,
the
and
one,
then...
the extra spare in Alchemist, and then you get Intelligence.
You have to, because
Have
Alchemist
to
is
get
required,
Alchemist.
is for Basketeer.
Yeah, it's
you need
required
it.
for the Biscuiteer.
Culinary Master.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do that. And then if you wanted to get Wanderer, I guess you would take Culinary Master because we don't care about the gold talents so much.
I'm not really interested. I don't know about Wanderer. I mean, with
said if
Dom,
you wanted
it's a
to.
question of... Yeah.
People
It
have
looks like I'm
taken-
gonna have to waste 1 point just to get to 21.
Yeah, that's the same vibe I'm getting, and I'm
Yeah.
not really feeling the potion thing either. So I'm like, for me, it's like, where do I put these 2 points at?
I talked to people about the utility
Well, I
thing.
mean, I guess you could
I know.
if you wanted to take Wealth and Bandit. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was.
If you
I
wanted
was thinking.
to,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use 1 point in wealth so I can get to Wanderer.
yeah.
Because I'm feeling I'm gonna have to test it. I'm gonna have to test Culinary Master to see if it's worth my time. But if I do like it, then I would just need to waste 1 point, which would be on wealth, which really isn't a waste because it's 40 starting gold.
Which is
and
another
get-
biscuit.
Yeah.
So should we
Yeah.
summon up the utility tree by saying the top half is Summoner's Rift? Or the
Yeah.
latter half? The
I
deeper
might-
half is Summoner's Rift mostly?
I think
Might
it
use it on my
takes some
supports.
finicking with to get it right for Dominion, but I think overall it's a decent tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely the weakest of the 3, but it's not completely
Yeah.
useless.
I think defense is by far the best thing ever now.
Gander, I actually talked to people about the out of combat movement speed for those that go into utility with manaless champs. They pretty much get it because they can't get meditation in the season 3 tree. And some people don't like meditation, so they get Wanderer. They swap Wanderer and Fleet of Foot. Right now in season 3 trees, Fleet of Foot is all at the bottom but 3%.
Yeah.
And the out of combat is 2% and you spend 3 points in it. So I'm thinking people might get Wanderer if you run like... Actually, you can't really run 21 utility on Riven anymore, like what Talith has done, because you're forced to get points that you don't want, essentially. Actually, no, maybe you could. Let me see.
Okay, while you're checking on that, I'm going to go down to Summoner Spells, and this
Those aren't going to come until 3.15.
I know, but whatever, they're here, and I don't get to do these as regularly as I would like to. I'd like to do one for like every patch and like every champion and everything, but it's tough to get people in time. So Smite has a new icon, which is really cool looking actually. I like
It looks like it's Zeus, just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old one was like a weird disembodied hand shooting some sort of holy light, but I think this gets the point across a little bit better, and it's a much sharper image, I think. This is just... I love this wording. In addition to the above changes, some Summoner's spells have been evaluated as inappropriate on Summoner's Rift. And then, spells have been evaluated as inappropriate. Evaluated as inappropriate. Inappropriate.
like
Don't use revive, that's inappropriate. Just the word choice makes me giggle.
yeah, like it kind of. I can see how you could. I mean, I know how they're talking about that. It's not a good choice. That
Revive
it's pretty much,
will be
yeah.
available only on Dominion. Man, if we weren't here, they would just take that spell out of the game. Nope,
Yeah.
don't even need it.
Yeah. And clarity is more obvious that it is inappropriate on Summer's Rift.
See, this is
I
the
used
really
to
funny
take
thing.
clarity on Misfortune when I was a noob.
They say a player would typically only cast Revive 3 or 4 times in a Summoner's Rift game. We cast it once in Dominion sometimes and love it. That's the best part
Yeah.
of their description. We only get to use it 3 or 4 times. We're like, we get to use it once and it makes the whole game. Bling! So good. And runes, no changes there. So that's going to be in the future. We get to keep Revive. And Clarity can get out.
Yes. GTFO clarity.
Clarity can get out, and we get to keep Revive. Smite has a new icon. Okay, so
Smite doesn't. I feel like there's a couple summoner spell icons that don't fit now. Like compared to that Smite icon, like
Yeah.
Ignite looks really bad, and so does Ghost.
Yeah. Actually, not only with Smite Icon, they also changed the sound effects too, which we skipped in the patch notes.
I didn't
Because
see
it was
it.
all the way at the top.
is it all the way at the top?
Okay.
Hold on, let me go back to the top.
Yeah, in-game UI. Updated Smite particle sound and icon.
Oh no, we talked about that. I mentioned that at the beginning. You have to go back through and check the VOD. But
Oh.
yeah.
I thought they. Oh yeah, they already did that. I was about to say I thought they changed the revive animation, but they already did that. I'm
it's-
derpy.
Okay, we have reached the end of the document. Please go back. Is there anything anyone has anything else to say about before we close it up?
The rune changes. What I know they didn't say exactly what they're going to do, but what they want to do with the runes is that they're gonna nerf flat armor as well as some must-have runes, and they're gonna introduce like hybrid defense, as well as making it so at level 6 that scaling runes will be better than flat at level 6.
Oh.
I will be so excited for hybrid defense.
Man, wait, I have to redo the whole damn runes video?
Pretty much.
Pretty much eventually, when it'll be a later patch. It won't be 3.14.
Oh man. Well, let's end on that news. There will be another Dominion breakdown. There will be the new rune changes that will be covered in a breakdown because I will have to update the old one because the old one will be hideously out of date potentially. Maybe I'll make an addendum. I will make an addendum to the let's see. I'll do an update breakdown so that I can update the Fizz one, I can update the boots, and I can update the runes. I'm gonna have to start looking for guests for that.
The summoner spells, well, some of the mechanics will also change too, like,
Oh, I didn't do one for summoner spells, so I'm good.
okay. But yeah,
Yeah,
they
that would've
didn't
been a
talk
short
about it
video.
on here because, yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how revive's gonna be now that you don't get the bonus health. Like I don't think it's gonna be a huge deal, but
We'll see. I mean, it's still, the not being dead is great. Now, the bonus health, I mean, if someone had just revived, they were winning against someone they might have just been losing against because of the revive buff. Now, I mean, I think that will happen less, but it'll still have the play potential it used to have of keeping you, making sure you're there for the team fight and making sure bottom stays there and stuff. You won't
Right.
have that. You won't have that weird. Oh, I died, so now I can outpush my lane opponent in bottom.
Yeah, I like that they removed the bonus health, to be honest, because it was ridiculous for just 1 point.
It was very
Really a lot
powerful.
Really, it's a lot of them had that sort of shit, sort of power, and it was overloaded. I mean, revive, exhaust, and ignite, of course, and a few others as well had that case. I kind of wish they would that Garrison got the splash damage as part of the Garrison itself, but what can you do?
All right.
Speaking of which, Garrison's going to be even more unattractive now that they're now that there's no more splash damage on the masteries,
Yeah.
and they're not changing Garrison, so
Oh, that's a good
I
thing
don't
to
see-
mention.
I don't see Garrison becoming that much more useful because less people have been taking it now that team fights don't happen at points often anymore. And I
In
feel like
my-
this is going to drive away further from it.
Yeah, in my opinion, Garrison is more of something you would use in the lower elos when with teams that are trying to be aggressive on points, but with tournaments in the competitive meta, yeah, it's so focused on the jungle fights that it doesn't have a ton of value.
I think a great way to change that would be if you hit Garrison, it temporarily made the tower untargetable, so they couldn't click to interrupt it. Like, that would be nice
Yeah.
to have guaranteed tower shots, because before, I mean, they click Garrison, interrupt everyone, but that one guy that wasn't clicking on already clicks it, and your splash damage is just wasted, it's gone.
I'm actually also a little concerned about Clairvoyance now that there's no mastery for the trailing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not changing Clairvoyance because of trinkets, which we don't have in Dominion yet.
Yeah, they said they're gonna add them, but they're gonna have to take a little bit of time to look at it. So I have faith in Axe Boss. He's been doing a good job.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad that there aren't any Dominion-specific changes this patch, but I mean, like, this is a huge patch of a lot of changes
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a lot
overall.
of really big SR things too, so I wouldn't be surprised
Especially
to see
to
trees
supports
and crystal
and
scarlet
masteries.
suns. Yeah.
So
They gotta get their
those are the big changes.
pre-season stuff rolling for their other maps. I found that we tend to get a lot more patches when the other maps are running, like their big tournaments and stuff. And in between,
Right.
we get a little neglected. It's like the circle
From
of patch.
from what I heard, Riot has been so busy with the preseason patch. It probably also includes the alternate balance map designers or whatever. They've been busy with the preseason patch, and don't forget the runes and summoner spells haven't changed yet coming up, which they will need to be tweaked or changed. So it's gonna take a while before they'll get back onto Dominion.
Yeah, 'cause
Not to
didn't
mention-
Morello say about, like, I think he was talking specifically about jungle changes, but I remember he was pretty much just like, yeah, things are gonna be messed up. We'll see how this goes in
the jungle
preseason.
changes and the respawns have not changed yet for SR either. Not this patch. They may change it in the next patch after 3.14.
Yeah.
And then after 3.15, I think the Zeref rework is supposed to be done by 3.16. So we still have to see that to come too.
I think Zerath is the fastest champion to go from be made to be reworked. Oh, that's gotta be
Speaking
some
of
kind record.
reworks, there's also been a red post talking an opening discussion for Urgot. I think they want to remake Urgot because he's stuck between a marksman or an AD bruiser.
Quick, give him double
So-
moves.
Yeah.
Have his Metroid gun arm turn into a fist and punch people at close range, and have it turn into a real gun at long range. Or rather, it'd be really cool mechanic to see is to see that when he lands a corrosive charge, it actually gives him auto attack range or something. Maybe they'll come up with something cool for him, but I feel like his Terra Capacitor doesn't do much because it doesn't scale too well. I mean, early game it's fine, but later game it's not really absorbing a lot. And I don't know, everything else in this kit's good. Just his auto attack
Yeah.
range and Terra Capacitor is sad. But that will be a video for another day. I've got to do some other junk, and I didn't have to reposition my little raid call thing over here. Yay! So, let's go ahead and do the outro. You guys go first when you three are done, saying, doing the whole hi, my name is. Then you'll throw it to me, and then I'll close out the video.
So I'm Rachel Passive, the captain of DD. It's just Summoner's Rift.
This is William Swiftfoot, aka Kenku, Elo Derp and DD Merc Captain.
This is Alia, a high elo Dominion support solo queue player, which I have subbed a few times. I'm actually also on Twitter, which you can follow me as at Ilaria, and I'm gonna make this font a little bigger. This is my Twitter. You can follow it. I don't use it very much, but I will like to try and get on that one day.
Is there anything weird in my start menu? Should I YOLO click it? I did. Oh, it's not captured anyway. Okay, cool. There's nothing weird in there. I was gonna put it in a, like, in a image because my text color for my raid call background is really weird, so they can't see that like at all. So your Twitter was ALLERA. Is that right? EAERA. What? I can't read it because my background's weird.
ALLEAERA.
EAE. There we go.
RA.
So you
Yeah.
can follow Alia there on Twitter, and if you like me and my gaming media, you can follow me on Twitter at VatoClan. And
I also have Twitter.
do you want to plug that?
It's at Rachel Passive.
Okay. Is it like Raquel?
Yeah, it's my
Raquel
weird
Passive?
spelling.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys can follow us on Twitter. I only update when I actually have something worth a damn to post, so mine won't be that active, but you will get to know things that are important when they happen. And you can follow these guys and see what's up with them there as well. You also check me out on youtube.com/ no, I can't spell. I spelled Vadal. Vadalclan. No, that's not right either. How do I letters? No! No, I made Callan. Okay. It's, let's just copy paste the word VatoClan I already have written. There we go. Okay, there you go. So, there's the Twitter and YouTube, wherever you can find, us at. So thank you very much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been it for the patch 3.14 notes. I am Gander of the gaming clan VatoClan, and I look forward to seeing you guys here another day.